That's Benedictum right here on your Classic Metal Show from the Obey release. That is Retrograde. Epic tune from Benedictum, who has kind of resurrected the band, and I guess they did a few shows over in Europe, right, Chris?
They did. I actually talked to Veronica for about an hour on Tuesday, I think it was. I know, amazing that either one of us got the phone call from Veronica. But yeah, she did do they did a run of shows in Europe. Doesn't sound like it was all that good though.
In what regard? That they needed to be more rehearsed, or that the crowd wasn't good, or what?
She didn't really get into it a whole ton. I mean, it's her story to tell, not mine. But it just didn't sound like it was what she was expecting. I mean, it wasn't Benedictum in as much as it was Benedictum Europe version. You know, it was Veronica and other people.
Well,
like
Pete wasn't part of this?
I don't think Pete was part of it.
Oh, I thought he was. Okay.
No, I don't think Pete was a part of it. And maybe, I don't know. I might be speaking out my ass, but I don't know. The only thing that she said that made it not fun was that she got really sick.
Okay.
You know, as soon as she got there, so she was fighting through illness the whole time. You know, and plus she's not gamed up right now. She's not in fighting form.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, she's been kind of out of the loop as far as like a touring entity.
Right.
For a few years, and you can't just go, okay, I'm going to go out and do a bunch of shows.
Yeah, and for her to do like 6 straight nights or something, she said was extremely tough.
Of course it is. I mean, that takes a lot out of you, not only, you know, for the travel. Yeah. But of course, you know, her style of vocal requires a lot of energy.
Right, sure.
A lot of ooh.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, she didn't make it sound like, I mean, she didn't say anything bad at all about the crowds or the band or any of that kind of stuff. She didn't make it sound like she got there and these guys couldn't play the fucking songs or anything.
Right,
but,
right.
You know, she just said that she got sick and, you know, she braved through it, but it was what it was. It was her braving through it because she didn't want to cancel shows, especially after she probably dropped $2,000 to fucking fly over to Europe.
Of course.
You know, you can't cancel shows on, you know, when you're on a shoestring, you sure can't cancel shows. Yeah. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is that when you get to your middle age and you haven't performed and it's not a constant diet for you. Yeah. You got to take a couple of months and get ready for that.
Well, you saying that Veronica's not 25 like she told me?
We all know the truth.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah, but regardless, right. That's rigorous. I mean, just the travel alone from night to night, you know, getting ready and of course rehearsing and playing with a strange lineup, and
right.
You can't just throw that together in a matter of a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah, no. But, you know, I did once again tell her that she's welcome back on the show whenever she wants to.
Yeah.
And she may or may not. I don't know. I don't know how actively she's going to be doing music. Honestly. I mean, I know she says that there's some songs that are written and some, you know, an agreement to do some new Benedictum with a different record label and whatnot. But I didn't get that feeling like, okay, and it's coming in March, or, you know, there was none of that. It was just like, you know, got to see what's going on, got to figure out what I'm doing, So, you know, and I mean, obviously, truth be told, the reason Veronica and I were speaking was not about music, but was about, you know, another business venture that her and I have been trying to get to for a year.
Sure.
So we were talking about that, and you know, part of it for me was like, all right, well, where's your commitment level? You know,
well, see that it's funny you brought that word up.
Yeah,
is because that's the whole thing. It's just the commitment to focusing on one thing. and nailing it down instead of being, I'm interested in this for about a week, and then I'm interested in that for about a week.
Yeah.
And then I'm off to doing other things. And it's like,
well, without getting all into it, my point was very simple. I'm pretty decent at putting together businesses that work, whether it's the two that I have now or Music's Bottom Line or the Metal Show or, in some regards this show somewhat, writing the books, whatever, but it comes from, okay, I'm going to do it. Boom. And I do it, and I was like, you got to commit this far if we're going to do it, and if not, then not, because, we can't keep stopping. We either got to go for it and make it work or not. So we'll see. We'll see. And if not. I said, I love Veronica. Veronica's like a fucking sister to me. But, sister I'd fuck, but still a sister. But, I want nothing but good things for Veronica, whatever that means, whether that means doing music or doing a business with me or not doing a business with me, whatever it is that she ends up doing. And this, dude, I think you're the same way with her, right? I mean, that's all any of us want is to see her do well.
Yeah. And again, we've done our share of trying to help.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And until that commitment comes to sticking with it,
yeah,
it ain't gonna ever happen.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely does get sidetracked. She's the stereotypical, ooh, pretty light. Let me run to it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm interested in this for about a week.
Right.
Whoa, what's that over there?
Right.
Yeah, I know. All right, well, I reached out to Veronica. I rarely hear from her anymore, but,
sure.
Every now and again I get a text, and it's like far and few in between.
Yeah, well, she's very busy,
I guess. All right. This week has been kind of interesting, or once again, I really don't know what to make of where we're headed as a society. This is a really weird time to be alive.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it just seems to me, and I hope I'm wrong, but it just seems to me like the word Nazis are winning.
You think they're winning?
Well, it seems to be.
How do you feel that they're winning?
Well, I mean, let's just put the Megyn Kelly thing out there. Megyn Kelly, if you weren't aware, former Fox News personality. She went on to host what is it? Good Morning America or what?
NBC. Wasn't it NBC?
Yeah, something like that. And she got the boot this week because she defended people who would wear a blackface for a Halloween costume.
Right.
And there's so many examples out there of other people in Hollywood, Jimmy Kimmel for one,
right,
being in full blackface, mimicking, I think, Shaq. And nobody made anything of that.
Right.
So Megyn Kelly says, growing up when we were doing Halloween, not that you were out doing that every day of the year, but Halloween is a time to dress up in character of something that you're not every day. Be it a zombie or a witch or a vampire or a celebrity or a previous president or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And this whole thing of sucking the fun out of is Halloween really a holiday? Is it really a holiday?
It's a drinking day.
Well, I'm asking the question for real.
Yeah, not really. I mean, what's it celebrating?
Well, if you're a pagan, I guess it's All Hallows Eve. It's the last day of the year that the spirits or the spooks can run wild before they're locked up.
Right.
Okay. But okay, if for all intents and purposes, let's just call it a holiday.
Right.
Well, part of the holiday tradition is you dress up and you act stupid and you do goofy shit.
Right.
No one ever thought anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of a sudden, and I shouldn't say all of a sudden, it's been coming on for a few years now, but in the recent history or recent past, all of a sudden it's now a bad thing to do something that is, everybody's using this term, cultural appropriation.
Okay.
And it's just like, yeah, it's Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, it's Halloween. You're dressing up or acting out in some way that doesn't typically reflect what you are on a day in, day out basis.
Mm-hmm.
It's Halloween. It's a costume. It's a disguise. It's trick or treat.
Mm-hmm.
Ha, I tricked you. I'm not really Shaq.
Right.
You know? Whatever. So it seems to me like any time, and we did a story last week, which I've got some more on, where that teacher, that special ed teacher out in Nevada,
mm-hmm.
she caught hell because her kid dressed up like Hitler.
Yeah.
For the holiday or for Halloween party, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And people were outraged.
Yeah, shocked and outraged.
They were shocked and outraged.
Right.
It's Halloween. Is it an appropriate costume to be Hitler? Perhaps not.
See, I disagree with that statement.
Well,
right there.
but maybe,
it absolutely is an appropriate. Anything that you want to be is an appropriate costume.
Right.
It's not a limit. There's not a barrier that you're allowed to go up to.
I agree. Maybe appropriate wasn't the right word. But
is it classless? Yes.
That's more what I was aiming at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's Halloween. The kid isn't Hitler.
Yeah,
he's just dressed like Hitler. Is it any different than dressing like Freddy Krueger?
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger in the movies, he's a murderer.
But how about forget Freddy Krueger. Let's go to something real. Let's go real to real.
Okay.
What if he dressed up like Kobe Bryant? Kobe Bryant raped a chick. True?
Well, yeah. Did he get convicted of that, or did he get tried for it?
He got. I don't know.
I don't think he got convicted of it. He got accused of it, but I think you're right. I think he may have settled or something.
Yeah, I don't think he was found innocent. What about, let's go. I talked about him earlier. What if a kid dressed as Oscar Pistorius? Is that worse or better?
I don't know that there is, that you could even classify it as worse or better.
Yeah. If a woman put on glasses and put a bathtub around her waist and pretended she was Susan Smith, would that be any worse? Or not Susan Smith, Andrea Yates.
Yeah, Andrea Yates, the lady from Texas.
Yeah, Susan Smith would have to put a Volkswagen with a kid in the back.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, Susan Smith or Andrea Yates really drowned her kids. You know, I mean, this is the whole thing. Is there's a difference between being tasteless and being appropriate. Yeah, there's no rules in fucking Halloween. The last I looked, you're supposed to be. You know, it's funny to me that nobody has any problems with people being generic killers.
Well, that's kind of where I was going with the whole Freddy Krueger thing, because he's a murderer in the movies.
And I think people might have a problem. They probably wouldn't have a problem with Freddy Krueger, but they would with Jeffrey Dahmer. And it's the same thing.
Why? Is it because he's a real person, or they're portraying a real person as opposed to a fictional person?
Well, that's what I think these bitches would complain about, is, you know, Freddy Krueger's fake. Obviously Freddy Krueger Halloween costumes have been popular for 30 fucking years.
Of course.
And there's not a Jeffrey Dahmer costume. Because people would be offended because there's victims, maybe. Maybe because there's actual victims.
Or he wouldn't be readily recognizable as a costume.
What about Manson, though? How about let's go Charlie Manson? You could put a fucking swastika in your head.
True.
And be Charlie Manson. And people would probably have more problem with that.
Yeah, but I think people have dressed up like Charlie Manson.
Yeah, but I bet they wouldn't get away with it today.
No, not today.
But you could still go as Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. Nobody has any problem with that. Fairy or Scarface. How many people did fucking Al Pacino kill in Scarface? If you went as a Mexican guy with a bloody chainsaw and said that you were the guy doing the carving in Scarface, no one would have a problem with that. But if you went as fucking Pablo Escobar, who actually did that, then people would probably have a problem with you. And I'm not trying to make the point that one's better than the other. I'm trying to go the other way. I'm trying to say that anybody that has a problem with anything is a fucking faggot.
Well, I agree with that. But this is kind of where I'm going with this. Is just, when did everything, even a holiday that's supposed to represent just the outrageous and the silly and the obtuse, get to be offensive now? Everything's offensive now. When?
The minute that fucking douchebag president before the current president fucking started with the empowering people's feelings for everything. That's when the combination of that and social media has made everybody into a fucking asshole bitch.
Yeah.
That's, dude, to your point about, are the word Nazis winning? I think maybe selectively they're winning, but I think the easiest way to fight it is just not play into it. Let the media do whatever they want. I don't know if you saw, but Gab is being closed down as of Monday at 9 o'clock.
Well, I saw that was because of that shooter today in Pittsburgh. He used Gab as his main social media outlet.
Yeah, so now the service provider or the web host pulled their thing and gave them till 9 a.m. Monday, and they already put out that they're going to be down for weeks, which means that they're done.
Yeah,
but and whatever. If the media wants to play that game, let the media play that game. What we all have to do as fucking people that are not going to play this is continue not to play it.
Well, I agree, but unfortunately, aside from the CMS Army. The CMS Legion.
Yeah.
Not everybody is on that page. And if there was anything that you and I could do with this show, the only thing, if you and I could pass it along to the people that listen to the show and empower them to say, fuck you, I'm not bowing to that.
Yeah.
That to me would be a victory in itself.
But I think people are starting to do that. First of all, what the media does, and this is my opinion, you can tell me that you think I'm wrong, is the media does nothing but amplify the sound of the fringe elements on both coasts. The media is just a big fucking loudspeaker for LA, for Los Angeles, and for New York City, which is highly, highly hard left.
Yes.
Middle America is not playing this game. Middle America, Ohio, Iowa, Illinois, Montana, Nebraska, wherever. You go to those states, and for the most part, you are not finding people that are fucking running to the goddamn media when people say the word faggot or nigger or whatever fucking word they say. You're just not seeing it. Every story that you read is on a coast. Have you ever noticed that? Every political outrage story is on a coast.
Right.
It's not in Middle America. Middle America's not buying this shit, but the fucking media is only amplifies those that are making a problem because they're trying to get the Middle America. Middle America's already said no. And look at and as much as I'm not following along with the great train driver Donald Trump, I will say this. Every time that fucker that does not shut his pie hole for anything or care what anybody says, every time he shows up anywhere, they got goddamn thousands of people trying to get to see him that can't.
Yeah.
Which means that there are 30,000 people per city plus another 30,000 people standing outside that have the same opinion of, fuck you, I'm not going to fucking cave into this fucking horse shit.
Yeah. They said that, he held a rally in Houston, I think it was Monday, for Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
They had 100,000 requests for tickets.
Yeah.
100,000.
And that says, to my point, do you think any of those 100,000 people are then going to their Facebook and going, I was shocked and offended because Donald Trump said people that do mass shootings should be killed? Do you think any of those?
I don't think
any
so.
of that 100,000 people were shocked and outraged today?
Not at all.
None. And you'd multiply that by every fucking major metropolis in the Midwest, in central United States. I still argue most people don't give a fuck. Most people don't give a fuck about words. Most people don't give a fuck. Most people are sick to death of having the fucking faggy attitudes of the left coast and the right coast jammed down their throat. And the place that you can see it is on major television. Anything that has gone on major television that endorses that has gone to shit. What did you tell me today? That CNN has less fucking viewers than Comedy Central now.
It does.
And they are the beacon of politically correct bullshit. And look at TV shows. The Connors, they fired fucking Roseanne for running her pie hole, and now that show can't fucking beg people to watch it. The Last Man Standing, going the other way. ABC fired that show for having conservative values. It goes to Fox. It's the number one rated show on fucking the most busy TV night of the year or of the week. So every time Michael Moore puts out a movie, it fucking does thousands of dollars instead of millions.
Right.
The First Man made their political statement about, God forbid, they were going to offend people by showing a historic moment in the moon landing. And what happened when they said they weren't going to show the flag? Fuck you, we're not going. So, people, I do believe that people do step up and make their opinion known that they're tired of this bullshit. I just think that the media covers it so little, and the victories that the left have are of bigger name functionalities that it makes it seem like they're winning. I don't think they're winning at all. I think people are more I think it's going the other way. I think people are not only fucking going more out of their way to say whatever they think, regardless of what people want to hear, but I also think that people are getting ready to fucking fight for it. I think more and more as you go forward, you are going to, I've been saying this, you're going to see more violence. You are absolutely going to see somebody's going to try and knock one of these MAGA hats off the wrong person, and they're going to catch a bullet in the head. It's going to happen because people are tired of just pretending like they're bitches. People have been pretty moderately accepting the left's bullshit. But as well as what's the old story about a bully, dude? A bully pushes around the little kid for so long, and then before long, the little kid beats their fucking ass.
Yeah, kind of like Ralphie and the Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Beat up that Scott Farkas.
Yeah, and I mean, it's coming. It's coming now. Things like Gab closing are another thing that, now you can't say what you want on. Now you can't have the same say anywhere as other people on Twitter, Facebook, wherever. So you're pushing people more into the corner. What happens when you get a lot of like-minded people that feel like they're fucking being imprisoned, falsely imprisoned? What happens at the end? What happened on fucking Flight 93 over Shanksville? They pushed them all to the back, and then they fucking got more and more pissed. And what happened? They fucking exploded and at least went after the fucking terrorists with everything they fucking had. And free speech is the same thing. It's, limiting speech is fucking a form of terrorism to a lot of people. And those people are only going to take it for so long before they fucking strike back and strike back hard.
Well, that's why the term word Nazi has, kind of become a widely used term.
Sure.
But I think from my perspective,
Mm-hmm.
I hate seeing people lose their livelihood over uttering a word.
Yeah.
Or having an unpopular opinion. Not that I care about Megyn Kelly, because she had her own agenda. But regardless of that, the fact that she tried to have this long form interview show,
right,
where she was attempting to be this in-depth journalist type person.
Right.
And she loses her gig because she espouses a unpopular, viewpoint. Instead of just saying, here's my viewpoint, not that I'm racist, it's just that, I don't see the harm in dressing up for Halloween.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, you can't say that. You can't say that. Oh, by the way, you're fired.
Yeah. Well, and dude, we've talked about this before. What it's going to take is somebody with mad money on the other side to just break this cycle, and it will happen. It's like everything else, dude. It's in the 60s. I'll go to the 60s. Don't you think at some point everybody was when we had all the race riots and all the shootings of JFK and RFK and Martin Luther King, etc. Don't you think that people were like, holy fuck, is this the new way it's going to be? Don't you think people thought that?
Probably, because there was so much of that in such a short time period.
Yeah. And then what happened? Then there was a dramatic shift the other way, and all that bullshit got pushed aside. I think the same thing's going to happen here. It's a fucking, the other end of the pendulum. The pendulum is swung very far to the left, and eventually it's going to fly the other way.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting that you brought up the 60s because, as I watch some of these documentaries, how whacked was the 60s when you had at least 3 high-profile assassinations within a matter of 4 years of each other.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, just think about that. We haven't had an assassination here in the U.S. Since then, have we?
The only attempt was Reagan.
Yeah, an attempt, but
it did hit him.
It did. True. And Ford had a couple shots taken at him from the Manson followers.
Right. Yeah, but nobody has been killed.
Right.
But honestly though, I honestly think that the mass shooting thing is just the mass shooting thing is the new assassination. People like everything else in culture today, to kill somebody of merit is hard. To kill just random strangers watching a movie is easy. So this lazy fuck culture just goes the easy way.
I guess, but yeah,
walks into the synagogue and shoots a bunch of fucking worshipers.
Right, but to think of killing a high profile person such as a president or a civil rights leader or a presidential candidate.
Yeah, well, that senator not too long ago in Arizona took a bullet to the head.
Yeah, that Gabby Giffords.
Yeah.
And that Steve Scalise over in Washington, where that Bernie Sanders supporter shot him while they were playing their softball game or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are still some attempts. It's just, for whatever reason, the people can't shoot or something.
Well, again, aside from Megyn Kelly, another thing, and I've railed against this for years, and I am not a fan of Facebook. I think people need to stay off that stupid Facebook and stop broadcasting every goddamn thing that they do. Mm-hmm. Because this just gives fuel to the fire of people. See, racist. See?
Yeah.
Well, here's one of those situations.
Okay.
A first grade teacher is under investigation.
Okay.
Under investigation for offensive and appalling blackface Halloween costume. Halloween.
Okay.
It's not like she came to school every day and said, "Look, I'm a blackie now."
A blackie?
A blackie. No, she came, and now get this, she was being a character.
What character?
Well, I'll get to it.
All right.
A school district is investigating a first-grade teacher who wore blackface at a Halloween party.
Okay.
Let's take that in context. It's Halloween.
Yeah, well, like we said, you cannot offend.
Yeah. Photos of Megyn Luloff, 32, a teacher at Walcott Elementary School in Davenport, Iowa, wearing blackface while dressed as a character from the film Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay.
I guess she was being LaFonda.
Yeah, okay.
Have been circulated on social media. See, stop it already.
But she didn't do that.
Well,
did she?
I'm sure she put it on her Facebook. Or somebody did.
Yeah.
The photos were taken at Friday's Booze Bash, a Halloween party held at the Walcott American Legion Hall.
So this wasn't a school function?
Well, it didn't say that. It just was held at the American Legion Hall, it says.
Can't imagine they had a booze bash for a school function.
Well, yeah. Superintendent Art Tate of Davenport Community Schools did not respond to a request for comment, and a spokesperson for Walcott Elementary School directed their statements published on Wednesday to the Quad City Times. The wearing of blackface is never appropriate in any circumstances by any person.
Ever!
Yeah. See, I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
You can't do that because we said so.
Who the fuck are you to tell me what I can and can't do? That I'm with you on that. I mean, nobody gets to tell me what I can and can't do.
Well, apparently Megyn Kelly, who got paid out $69 million.
Oh, yeah.
She's not allowed to say it either.
Sure, she's really upset.
I'm sure she is.
$70 million to keep her fucking mouth shut and not complain about being fired?
Yeah.
I'd do that too.
The issue is under investigation by the district. School board vice president Linda Hayes also told the Quad City Times, "I cannot clearly articulate how offensive and appalling it is to people of color." So she speaks for the people of color.
Well, she does, and I'm sure every single one of them is offended.
Yeah, she speaks for them, though.
Mm-hmm. What city was this again?
This is Davenport, Iowa. This is the middle of the U.S.
Oh, okay.
In light of our recent developments with the district, this was in very poor taste, Chris Aiken. Not to mention totally out of line with regard to professionalism. It's Halloween.
Please.
It's Halloween. Professionalism goes out the window. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah.
We are working very hard with professionals from across the country and within the state to assist with the problem of disproportionality of one of our own is fueling the fire of blatant racism.
Really?
She went as LaFonda.
Can I be offended that the cast of Hamilton is a bunch of black guys when all those people were white?
No, you can't do that.
Why not? Is that different somehow?
Well, if you're black, you can't be racist.
Good point, Neely. I forgot that for a minute.
Right. All I can say, it is very sad and totally unacceptable.
Okay.
The school board also sent a statement to the publication. The district was very recently made aware of these images of a district employee at a non-school related event. There's your answer.
Yep.
Non-school related event.
Yeah.
And an internal investigation is currently ongoing. The board does not condone the insensitivity these images depict, and it's very disappointing.
Yeah, very disappointing.
Something like this is now connected to our school community.
Yeah, well, I hope that she immediately, when she's fired next week,
right?
I hope she sues the school, and fucking, it's going to take somebody fucking suing. If she didn't post these photos, she should sue Facebook too, for not, for posting, images of her that she didn't approve of. No,
again, I don't know what the laws are about taking pictures in public.
The point is that's what it's going to take now to stop some of this nonsense. Is you're going to have to start fighting back with fucking legal. You're going to have to start going to, when this school board fires her for fucking violating her morality clause, she's got to go to court and say, I didn't do anything that wasn't moral. She didn't do anything that wasn't moral. She dressed like a character on a night when people dress like characters.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah, but this is where she should sue that fucking school board and fucking take their goddamn money and be out in front of every microphone she can find. In blackface, no less.
But see, here's the problem with that in light of current or recent events. Mm-hmm. Megyn Kelly, a high-profile celebrity, if you will, got fired for espousing it's okay to wear blackface on Halloween, and then she recanted her comments and apologized for it.
Well, no one should apologize ever.
I'm agreeing with that, but the problem is now the die has been cast.
Yeah, well, how do you make any change? You fucking do something different than the standard. What is being accepted as the standard right now needs to be fucking broken, and somebody has to stand up and break it. Somebody has to say, I don't give a shit what Megyn Kelly did, or this lady should say, you know what? If you want to give me the same percentage of money that you gave Megyn Kelly, then I'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but see, I'm going to use your words here. Okay. Who decided this was the standard?
Well, that's the point. It's not the standard. It's Fox's standard, or ABC, or wherever the fuck Megyn Kelly worked.
Well, this school board apparently thinks that's the standard.
And that's why they should be sued and proven that it's not. That's where they should be sued and fucking hold up the goddamn freedom of speech amendment and say, this is not a morals violation. Because it's not. If they've got video of her going, nigga please, and doing the head snap and all that other bullshit, then maybe they got a case. A picture of her dressed up as a fucking costume from Napoleon Dynamite? Fuck you. And that should be her answer. Her answer should be, here's my apology. Go fuck yourself. I'm going to take you to court. And I'm going to sue, and win or lose, I'm going to make a fucking shit ton of bad publicity for your fucking school. That's what I'm going to do.
Right.
And let the school board deal with it. And don't settle. No matter what they offer in settlement, don't fucking settle.
And don't apologize.
Do not apologize.
Well, Megyn Kelly apologized, then she got booted the next day.
Oh, Megyn Kelly apologized because her goddamn attorney said, look, say these stupid words and you're going to make $70 million fucking dollars.
Right.
That's not the case with this fucking teacher that's going to be blackballed. This teacher, if she's going to go down anyway and have to find a new career, which she is, go down fucking swinging. Hire an attorney, say, I apologize for nothing, and I'm going to fucking sue and stay in the public eye as long as I can, and I am going to beat this fucking school up. And believe me when I tell you, she'll find a following. She'll find people that'll GoFundMe to pay her goddamn legal fees quickly.
Yeah, look what happened to Horseface.
Yeah, there you go. She found him. She paid Donald Trump with her GoFundMe money.
That's true.
So but that's what it's going to take, dude. Until people, stop apologizing. People, and that's the message that we need to get out more than anything. Don't fucking apologize ever. Even if you mean it. Even if you feel bad and you feel like you should apologize. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It doesn't help your cause. It makes you automatically lose, and it gives them the right to fire you. Make them prove that you did something fucking wrong. Right now, this school has no proof that this woman did anything wrong. They are, as far as I can see, that is wrongful termination 101. She didn't do anything that violates a moral clause, unless they have it specifically in her contract that she can't dress in another race's fucking look at a Halloween show that's off the books of the school. Then she didn't violate her morals clause.
Right.
So go fuck yourself, and I'm gonna sue you, and I'm gonna take $2-3 million out of this fucking school district, which probably hurt you a whole lot. No,
I agree.
That's what she should do. She won't. I promise you next week you're going to be on this show going, here's what happened. She came out and said, I'm terribly sorry for the words. I didn't realize that my conduct could be so offensive and hurtful to people of African American descent. I really just thought I was having fun. But fuck you. When you do that, hun, then you're a cunt. Then you're part of the problem. You're the reason that the fucking other side keeps getting to do this shit. That's what makes me mad, is she didn't do anything wrong, but she'll apologize for it anyway, becoming part of the fucking problem.
Right.
Fucking bitch.
The statement also reads, the district strives to provide a quality education enriched by our diverse community. There's that word again, diverse. Mm-hmm. In a fair and supportive environment for all. The images run counter to the respect, values, and beliefs the district promotes and should not be a reflection of the district as a whole. This situation is not taken lightly by any member of the board. The district will determine how to best address the matter after further investigation, i.e., we're going to fire this lady.
Yeah, she's done. Believe me, you know what the district is trying to do? Figure out a way to do it quietly.
Of course.
They're probably trying to settle with her to get her to fucking do an apology and walk away, and they'll pay her some money to walk away.
Right.
That's what they're trying to do right now. And again, that's what I was saying. She needs to say, fuck you and your money. I'm not fucking taking it. I'm going to sue you. Please let this happen to me at some point, because I will never fucking, I will fucking sue until I'm fucking living in the street. I will sell everything I have to sue.
Right.
Fuck these fucking cunts.
Now, here's where the media tries to stir the pot. Mm-hmm. They go out of their way, take it upon themselves to stir the pot.
Right.
Yahoo could not reach a representative of the Iowa-Nebraska NAACP for their comment.
Why would they need to have a comment?
Well, again, this is the reason why. It's just like, hey, we're going to go rattle the cage over here, and we're going to wake up the sleeping bear.
Yeah.
Just to stir the pot even more.
Yeah. In other news, Al Sharpton has booked his flight to Iowa and will be there Monday morning.
Exactly. And,
fuck off.
And Yahoo is paying for the flight. First class, of course.
Of course they are.
The group's president, Betty C. Andrews, told the Quad City Times, depictions like those deliver messages of fear and trauma, evoking images from another movie, the racially propagandized 1915 movie Birth of a Nation, in which black people are criminalized, humiliated, and lynched. That is a reach back.
Birth of a Nation?
Birth of a Nation from 1915.
How many people are alive on this planet?
Well, number.
Just hold on. How many people are alive on this planet right now?
Right this minute? What is it? Is it
7 billion?
Yeah, 7 billion.
Okay. Of the 7 billion that are alive right now, do you think there are 1,000 that have seen Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was before sound.
That's a 8mm crank film. That's the kind that they used to have the little portal that they would look in and watch.
Right.
Nobody has seen Birth. I mean, certainly not enough people to have a viewpoint about its message have seen that movie to relate this fucking chick dressing like somebody from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a hard time with a movie that's been much more seen. Is if they would have said it relates to Mammy from what was the Scarlett O'Hara movie, Gone with the Wind. You know, there's probably more people have seen that, but even that is not a good reference. Get the fuck out of here with Birth of a Nation from 1915. Jesus Christ, there were more people that saw live lynchings that are still alive today than saw that movie. For fuck's sake.
See, this is how ridiculous ginning up this kind of rhetoric over something as simple as a stupid Halloween costume.
Right, that is ridiculous.
The revelation that the woman in blackface is a teacher who is expected to provide a safe and equitable classroom environment for all children is very disconcerting.
Very.
Yeah, because I dress like LaFonda, so your black kids, my black students, are all in danger.
Yeah, they are. Well, again, dude, isn't it funny, though, how many of these stories do stem from teachers? So many of these stories are fucking teachers. Why can't these teachers just avoid this bullshit? You know, I mean, look, I'm not saying that she shouldn't be allowed to dress in blackface. I'm really not. I don't give a fuck. Personally, I could give a fuck. And to be honest, my black friends that I have, I can't imagine that they would be in an environment of fear if they saw some woman dressed in blackface. I honestly think they would be like, look at that stupid white twat. And that would be the end of them. They would not have fear. So, but what is it with these teachers? They know the environment that they're in, and they keep doing it.
Well, you would think they would, but I honestly don't believe that they look at it the way that we do. Honestly, I don't. I think that they think that they're, I don't know, I won't even use the word immune, that their closed community, that, this is funny, let's go have some fun, just like a normal person would. Nobody ever says, well, I'm a teacher and I can't step out of line like that. What if somebody saw me?
No.
I don't think anybody ever thinks that.
No. I just think that it's just a mess. And what they're doing is making people become closet racists again. And, you know, you're going to go back to the environment you had in the fucking 50s or whatever. You really are. You're going to get to a point where people are going to be, you know, striking when it's quiet, not in public. I'd rather know my racists personally, wouldn't you? You know,
I suppose, but I don't know this woman from Adam, but I seriously doubt that when she decided that she was going to be LaFonda from Napoleon Dynamite, she thought, man, this is going to be the most racist shit I could dig out of my closet.
Yeah, I very much doubt that she was like, watch me get everybody with my racial costume.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt that too. She's just a fucking yuppie twat that was like, I love that movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna be LaFonda.
It's so funny. This is a dumb twat that's gonna get fired.
Yeah,
but I look forward to her apology on Monday.
Yeah.
I'd just like to apologize to some tears. I'd like to apologize to the school board and most importantly the kids, because the last thing I want is for the kids to be upset by me. I don't want my kids to fear. I am truly sorry. Yep, well, beat it.
Pick your check up on your way out the door.
You're fired. You just admitted to breaking our rules. You're fired.
Equally as upsetting is that the people around her also seem to be celebrating her appearance. They're celebrating it.
Well, I hope they're all fired, too, from their respective jobs.
What a stupid comment.
Yeah.
Look at her.
They be looking
Yay!
like they're...
She looks like a Fonda. Yay! Good for you, girl.
How dare they look like they're having fun at a Halloween party? How dare they?
Yeah. There were smiles in the crowd, and they were all saying, look at you. You look like LaFonda.
Yeah.
They were celebrating her look.
Yeah. That had nothing to do with the fact that they were all sauced up at a Halloween party called Booze Fest or whatever.
Booze Bash.
Booze Bash.
BOOS. Booze Bash.
Yeah, they were all trashed.
At a VFW of all places.
Yeah, you know, because that's where all the good parties happen.
Yeah, where the drinks are cheap.
That's right.
This is not the Iowa that should be a field of dreams for all of us.
Oh, God. What faggot wrote that line? This is not the Iowa that should be a field of dreams?
Yeah, build it and they will come.
Oh, fuck you. This should be a caucus for all people. Shut up! Shut the fuck up, you fucking cheeseball. Good Lord.
That would be Wisconsin.
Yeah, good point.
The Quad City Times reports that the Davenport School District is currently being examined for placing a disproportionate number of minority students in special education and imposing discipline.
So now their actual their brain level is not good enough reason to be in special ed?
Well, they got a bunch of dumb blacks over there.
Okay. So what? You should put a few of them in the fucking classes they can't keep up
They
with?
need to be treated equally.
So what's their solution to that? Put a bunch of dummies in the smart classes just so that they could fail?
Yes, absolutely.
Instead of actually letting them be in a class that's modified so that they can learn.
Right.
Good God. I mean, I know there's a stigma in all the special ed, but in the end, special ed is fucking helpful for fucking dumb kids. Yeah. That's what it's for. It's for fucking kids that can't learn to have the advantage of being able to learn.
Or they've fallen behind for whatever reason, whether it's home life or whatever.
But it's adapted education to their capabilities.
Of course.
A good thing. It's not a bad thing.
I know.
Because what? Why is that a bad thing? Because fucking comedians have made the short bus jokes? Shut up. Everything about this story makes me want to fucking punch somebody in their fucking pussy.
I know. That's why I like to bring these kind of stories, because it gets Chris Aiken fired up.
Jesus Christ.
But this is what's going on in middle America.
God.
On Wednesday, NBC host Megyn Kelly created a wave of anger by questioning why blackface is racist. Mm-hmm. She didn't say blackface isn't racist. She just said on Halloween, I don't see what the problem is. Mm-hmm. She didn't say blackface isn't racist.
Yeah.
But what is racist, she said to her on-air guest, because you do get in trouble if you are a white person who puts on a black face on Halloween or a black person who puts on a white face for Halloween. Well, ask Dave Chappelle when he was being the black KKK member in his skit. When he white
power.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to cause him any problems.
Not at all. Oh, well, he's a comedian.
That's true.
And he leans left, so that's okay.
And he's black.
Right.
He's allowed.
Right.
He has all the right qualifications to be racist.
Exactly. Back when I was a kid, that was okay, as long as you were dressing up as a character. Mm-hmm. That's what she said.
Yeah.
LaFonda.
Don't you think that in a way Megyn Kelly just wanted to be done with this shit?
No, I think they wanted to get rid of her because her ratings were shit.
Yeah, but it's been a bad run for her since she left Fox. I think there's probably some element of this is like, yeah, this might do it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think that was premeditated. I think that was more like, oh, well, we finally got something we can cut her loose with.
All I want to know is she single?
No.
69 million?
No, she's not single.
Damn.
Sweeping outrage, including from NBC News chief Andy Lack, led to Kelly apologizing in a statement the same day she mysteriously separated from her talent agency, and her future at NBC is reportedly bleak. Mm-hmm. So there you are.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if her and Matt Lauer just end up as like the new morning team on like InfoWars or something?
InfoWars.
Right before Alex Jones.
Right.
You're talking about the blackface. I know that that's a real thing because the frogs, they're gay. And because the frogs are gay, it means that people can't dress in blackface. That's the way I see it.
Right. Well, continue on with the Halloween outrage.
Okay.
A man defends dressing his 5-year-old son as Hitler for Halloween.
Is this another guy?
This is another guy.
Jesus Christ.
This is middle America as well.
Oh, no kidding. Maybe I was dead wrong on my statement earlier.
Well, again, the news medias would never pick this shit up if people would stop posting this shit on social media.
Right, on fucking Facebook.
On fucking Facebook.
Right.
A Kentucky man, not Nathan from Kentucky, but a Kentucky man.
Right.
Who wore a Nazi costume and dressed his 5-year-old as Adolf Hitler for a local Halloween event, is defending the anti-Semite outfits. Are those anti-Semite outfits?
Apparently so.
By calling himself a history buff.
Is it our guy that fucks the teacher up on the mountain?
Could be.
Could be him. What's his name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy, yeah.
Bryant Goldbach of Owensboro, Kentucky, posted a Facebook photo.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Smart.
Hey, look at us. We're dressed like Nazis. He posted a Facebook photo of himself dressed as a member of the Hitler's Schützenstaffel, or the SS.
Mm-hmm.
His young son dressed as Hitler, wearing a fake mustache and a blazer adorned with swastikas.
Right.
And his daughter, who wore a fairy costume. Wonder what's the historical reference of that. The photo was taken Thursday in downtown Owensboro at an annual event called Trail of Treats, during which the children trick-or-treated at local businesses. The family costume understandably offended many attendees, and afterward, Goldbach shared his indignation.
Oh, wow, good new word.
In a Facebook post.
Well, damn right.
That has since been deleted. I hope this guy is self-employed.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what he said.
Anyone who knows us knows that we love history and often dress the part of historical figures, he wrote. Tonight, as we walked, we saw people dressed as murderers, devils, serial killers, blood and gore of all sorts. Nobody batted an eye. But my little one and I dressed as historical figures, and it merits people not only making snide remarks, but approaching us and threatening my little 5-year-old boy. Goldbach continues, that's right, tonight's grown adults threatened a child over his costume, threatened his mom and dad as well, threatened to rip his outfit off of him, screaming obscenities, scaring a small child. First off, it's none of your business. Second, how dare you? I mean, how dare you threaten a child? Me, it's one thing, but my child, you're messing with fire, pal.
Yeah, pal! You gotta read it with the accent, though.
Yeah.
You're messing with my child, pal!
Yeah, pal!
Yeah, pal!
The father is getting publicly shamed as a child abuser and a racist and a coward on Facebook, Reddit, and Twitter.
Wow, even Reddit checking in.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, this is serious.
Goldbach did not return Yahoo's lifestyle request for comment.
What a dummy.
I know.
Stop trying to defend yourself on Facebook, you fucking idiot. How about this? Punch somebody in the face if they yell at your child.
Yeah.
Don't go to Facebook and tell them how fucking mad you are.
Well, stop posting pictures of you and your kids dressed as Nazis on Facebook.
Well, there's that too, but I mean, for God's sakes, I've told this story, I think, on the show about the guy with the dog down the street, and he yelled at my kids.
Yeah.
So I went down there and booted his dog and then punched him in the fucking face. That's how you handle it. You don't go to fucking Facebook. These people there, they said mean things to my child. You got something mean to say to me, motherfucker. You say it to my face, not to my child. Shut up. If you don't have the balls to stand up to him when it's going on, then you're a bitch. This guy's a bitch for not fucking standing up for his kid if it truly happened. See, this makes me question if it truly happened. Dude, I mean, dude, forget you because you don't have kids, but anybody that you know that has kids, if somebody started fucking with their little kid, no matter what their kid was doing, don't you think that anybody that is a dad would stand up to him and be like, hey, motherfucker, back the fuck up?
You would think so, yes.
I mean, come on. And this guy, what? He went home with his fucking tail between his legs and then went to Twitter to show people how mad he was?
Yeah.
Fucking pussy. What a fucking fag.
Well, here's the other thing.
Yeah.
People are such attention whores these days.
Mm-hmm.
That they turn everything around on the social media to get sympathy.
Sure.
Or get attention. Mm-hmm. And for this guy to dress up as a SS, stormtrooper or whatever,
right,
and dress his kid that way, post it out there on Facebook, knowing full well nobody's going to look at you. Oh, great. You guys are representing historical figures.
Let me guess. Hitler or Goebbels? Which is it? Come on.
Right.
It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but the thing is that he knows, you've got to know that he knows that this is going to rile some people.
But why do I think that nobody actually said anything to him? He just got the fucking people rolling their eyes.
Yeah, probably. I would guess you were probably correct about that.
Yeah, I'm willing, because no one would put up with somebody yelling obscenities at their little kid without punching them in the fucking face.
Right.
No, the biggest pacifist that I know would fucking at least chest up on anybody that said something to their 5-year-old or 6-year-old kid or whatever. You know, that's a no-no. That's a day in jail that anybody that's ever been a dad is willing to take. If you don't let somebody fuck with your kids, ever. And that's why I don't believe his story. I don't believe his story for 1 second. I think he probably was walking down the street looking for fucking attention, looking for somebody to cause him the hassle that he's describing on Facebook. But everybody just were like, look at this fucking dickhead, and fucking ignored him. And then he didn't get what he wanted, so he went back to Facebook. That's what I'm thinking happened.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right, one last one, and we'll take a break.
All right.
A principal, once again with the school people, who used the N-word repeatedly, says the slur was used in context during an anti-racism discussion. So once again, we have another Papa John situation here.
Another guy that didn't learn from Papa John.
Yeah.
Thinking the same thing.
Same thing. A high school principal who uttered the N-word on multiple occasions insisted he used it in the context of anti-racist discussions. Mm-hmm. According to the Cincinnati Enquirer, once again, middle U.S.,
wow, all right. I'm officially retracting that statement. Can you cut it out of the segment next when you put stuff, Neeley? I don't want people hearing me saying something so unbelievably wrong for tonight's show.
Right. Doug Lease, the principal of Kings High School, first used the N-word in January during a staff meeting days. I think we covered this story earlier this year.
Yeah.
After a basketball team that included Kings students wore jerseys bearing racial slurs.
Right.
In a discussion about countering racism, Les was heard using the word.
The word.
The word.
Don't say it. Don't even hint at it.
Yeah. Then in September, the principal reportedly reported it to a black student who wanted to play a pep rally song that contained the N-word. Mm-hmm. In that discussion, Lease reportedly used the word 3 different times to convey why it was inappropriate.
Why has he not been murdered? Why does he get to... He said it 3 times.
I know.
That's enough. That should be death penalty there.
Yeah. So what's that song you want to play? It says, I want to fuck your bitch up. Now, don't they say nigger in that word, like in that song, like 3 or 4 times? Mm-hmm. Do you think that's an appropriate pep rally song? Come on. People are going to be a little upset if they hear the word nigger repeated 3 and 4 times.
That's right.
That's probably how the conversation went.
Mm-hmm.
Is that inappropriate to say that?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. But, I could see using that to say, I don't think that's a good idea.
Right.
But is he going to say, well, I listened to the song. I don't think it's an appropriate song to play at a pep rally because they say the N-word 3 or 4 times in the song.
Right. I'd love to hear what they're playing at the school dances.
Yeah. Well, this next line kind of makes my point.
Okay.
He could have easily said the N-word or inappropriate language, and I would have gotten the point, the student said. I was extremely uncomfortable.
And scared and horrified and outraged.
Yeah, well, this is the student that wanted to play the song that said nigger like 3 or 4 times, but because the principal uttered the word, then he was uncomfortable.
Well, I wonder what she'd think of that Donnie V classic.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. It's just like this kid, he wants to play a song that it's probably uttered several times, and then because somebody actually said it to him, then he's uncomfortable.
He wants to hear 99 problems what a bitch ain't one.
Right.
But he wants to hear that, but God forbid if the principal said called his sister a bitch, then it would be a problem.
Of course it would. It made him very angry and uncomfortable.
He used the B word toward my sister.
Yeah, right.
Just because I was singing the song.
Yeah, of course.
Idiots.
Again, hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Everybody's a hypocrite these days.
Yeah, well, it's everybody. It's always fascinating to me, and again, it's fucking social media culture these days. How many people say stuff, and then when you call them out for being hypocritical, then they're like, "Well, fuck you." They can't even answer it because they don't realize that they do the same shit. And almost everybody does it in this environment these days.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody argues and bitches and moans about, well, this is this and this is that, and you can't do this or that, and then they do the same shit.
Yeah.
Just not meeting, it just doesn't meet their standard.
Of course. Everything is selective.
Yeah, exactly. It's just fucking ridiculous.
On Tuesday, Least acknowledged the issue in a school video announcement, apologizing.
Of course, well, see ya.
For the distraction to the learning environment.
Mm-hmm.
I will continue to be an advocate for those that need me.
Where, your living room? Because that's where you're going to be.
Yeah, in the unemployment line.
Fired, so fired.
There are a lot of things to learn from, to grow from, and that includes me and everybody that we can do to discourage racism, to discourage and denounce wrongdoing, he said.
I hope you do. I hope you are a big advocate from your fucking overnight guarding position that you're going to be qualified for after you're fired.
Right. In response to an inquiry about his controversy, Superintendent Tim Ackerman sent a statement, a portion of which reads, "The Kings Local School District is strongly committed to cultural competency in creating an environment that promotes diversity and inclusion." Recently, Kings High School Principal Doug Least denied an African-American student of using a song with the N-word in it at the school.
Yeah.
When the student asked Mr. Least specifically why the song was not going to be allowed, Mr. Least explained to the student that the song used the word nigger.
Well, then they should be fired for that, of course.
Right, of course. The student's parent made a complaint about Mr. Lisa's use of the word nigger.
I'm going to assume Mr. Lease is a white guy.
Yeah, he's a white guy. Of course he is.
If it was Mr. Jackson or something, I somehow think that this would not be an issue.
It would never be an issue.
Wouldn't even have heard of this story.
The kid would go, okay, Mr. Jackson, got it.
Got it. See ya.
Stating that it made the student feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Upon investigating and interviewing the student's parents, and Least, it was discovered that the use of the derogatory term was used only when the student specifically asked which words of the song was inappropriate. Mr. Least felt it was important to address the student's feelings and met with the student's mother, and the King's superintendent, Tim Ackerman. The conversation helped all involved understand each other's intentions and feelings toward the use of the word.
Right.
All parties left the meeting with a deeper understanding of each other's feelings on this topic. Feelings overrule just common sense.
Son, I don't know how to explain this to you any other way, but you cannot play the song Niggas My Height Don't Fight by Eazy-E.
Right.
Why? Because of the title.
Some people were incredulous at the school's lack of disciplinary action. This man demonstrates a lack of respect for his students of color.
Mm-hmm.
How is that okay? Wrote one person on Facebook.
Huh.
Wow, what a leader. Absolutely disgusting, wrote another.
Yeah. Wrote another who just lets her kid listen to this shit.
Of course.
Doesn't stop her kid at all from listening to fucking Lil Wayne or whatever. It's like, shut up.
The Inquirer reports that in early 2018, a black janitor at the same high school discovered a rope hanging from a school dumpster, which a school spokesperson said was a discarded prop from a theater department. And on another occasion, some teachers reportedly made statements about deporting students.
All right, now we're getting carried away here.
So there you are.
Just dummies in the schools.
Yeah.
These are your educators. That's the scariest part to me. That these fucking educators can't figure out to shut their fucking mouths.
Yes.
How about this? And I, for one, have no problem with him saying, I'm not going to play a song because it says the word nigger in it.
Yeah, I don't either.
No matter how offended anybody gets, you know what? It's not like he said, I'm not going to let him play the song because you're a nigger and I don't want you to hear that word.
Right.
That's not what he said. So stop with that nonsense, first of all. But here's the real thing. Why can't the teacher in our day, and I hate to be old man Chris, but in our day, this conversation wouldn't have happened. The answer would have been, because I said no. Now get your ass back to class.
That is true.
I mean, come on. Can you imagine in your high school days going up to the principal and saying, I want this song played at the dance? What would the principal would have never said, well, let's sit down and have a discussion about it. They would have never done that. The principal would have been, this song is out. And if you don't like it, the dance is canceled.
Right.
Move along, stupid. Go fucking study some goddamn English. That would have been the end of the discussion. This is ridiculous. Why are we giving kids in fucking school power over the goddamn administrators? How about you're the boss because you're in charge? They're the kid, you're the fucking educator. So educate them. Teach them what it's like to be in the real world where they're going to go to a fucking job and somebody's going to say, hey, just fucking do it. Don't question me. How about that? There's the teaching lesson that this fucking dummy at the school did not fucking portray.
I agree.
He should be fired. Fuck him.
Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, boys, it's Lou from the Lou.
What's up, Lou from the Lou? Here's a guy who probably has something of value to add to this conversation.
Well, maybe I do, because I taught in an inner city high school for 6 years, believe it or not.
I don't believe it, but I'm going to take your word for it.
I did, down in Louisville, Kentucky.
All right, down close to where all this has taken place.
And let me tell you, in the hallway from the students, all you would hear is nigger this, nigger that, nigger, nigger, nigger. But if a white instructor, a white teacher were to try to correct these students on using that word, all of a sudden, we're the bad guy. Without even using the word.
Mm-hmm.
We're not we're just too white, or we need to go back in the suburbs, or, we don't respect their culture or whatnot. It's just proof that schools need to go back to being segregated. A white man teaching in that kind of environment you're not going to win. And shit like this happens so much more than just the story you're reporting.
Sure.
And
do you think, I mean, because you dealt with not just the kids, but the parents and whatnot, obviously, Do you think that in the end that's what the fucking parents want is fucking all black schools with black teachers and black educators?
I've had black teachers, tell me that their student needs a black teacher. I'm a white man. I can't possibly understand, what it's like to be black. Now, just imagine if a white parent were to tell a black teacher that their white son or daughter needs a white teacher. Could you imagine the shit that would happen on that?
Fired.
Yeah. So, they will never report it. The media will never ever say that blacks want their own schools back, because a lot of the parents, whatever parents, again, you got to remember, most of these kids don't come from a 2-parent home. It's most of them are lucky if they even have one parent that's involved in their education. But a lot of them. I mean, I've had several times that have overheard or have been told by a black parent that they need to have blacks running this school, blacks teaching, and so forth. But you'll never hear that. All you hear is, well, we need the diversity. We need everybody, blah, 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 all different colors joined together, kumbaya, it's. But, yeah, I really believe that, the majority of them do want their own schools.
Do you think they want their own states? And I'm not even joking. Do you think that black people, do you think that if we could just say that Texas and Arkansas and whatever else is right there, Alabama or whatever, probably my geography being stupid, but do you think that if those states were like the black states and all black people could live there and no white people could live there, do you think that people would voluntarily segregate like that?
I think some blacks would.
Do you percentage?
Oh,
70,
I would say
20, what?
The over-under would be 50.
Oh, okay. Okay, Mr. Doesn't want to commit to an answer.
I would say maybe 70% of blacks would want to live their own neighborhoods, their own states.
Interesting. And what would you say? What would you say on the white? 99?
Yeah, I mean, it'd have my vote. Yes, I mean, I really do. I just, I mean, it's you won't hear it through the media. You won't spread it. You won't hear it from people. It's kind of like people who vote for Trump, but they're afraid to admit it. They just don't want the backlash. They don't want to be called whatever, so they just, they don't say they're going to vote. It's the same with a lot of people like blacks who want their own their own neighborhoods, their own businesses, their own places to live. They won't tell it to you in your face. Well, some will, but some won't. But you guys talked about it before on your show. Groups, races will tend to go with their own kind. It's just, I don't know, just nature. It is what it is. And you force all this desegregation, all this busing, all this, and a lot of it's stupid too. Some of these kids, because of desegregation, would have to ride a bus for over an hour to get to school. Right. Now, it's ridiculous to have a kid of any race, age, whatever, to be riding a damn bus for an hour before school and after school.
Well, don't disagree.
So, it's just the more they force this diversity bullshit, the more problems that I feel you're going to have. I just the whole it's a small world and all that jive. I mean, yeah, it looks good on paper, but in reality, come on, man, everybody prefers their own kind, regardless of the race. So. That's just the way it is.
All right, Lou.
But, all right, my manager's calling me, so hail and kill, fuck you, pal, and hand job.
It goes Lou from the Lou.
There you go.
Lou has a few things to say.
Guess so.
All right. Let's take a break. Play a few songs here.
All right.
Now that I got you all fired up and outraged and horrified and
yelling for the first 3 hours of show.
Right. Well, I think the only way to really end this segment is just play the theme song.
Donnie V.
Yeah, here's Donnie V with J-Mac doing some White Nigger exclusively here
on your classic metal show.